This historic building on the campus of Auburn University is called Cary Hall, which was built in 1940 as a tribute to the legendary Dr. Charles Allen Cary. Now, Dr. Cary had practical teaching methods which included performing animal surgery under a campus shade oak to instruct his students. He would have Saturday clinics and summer institutes where he taught farmers about the prevention and treatment of animal diseases. When he was nominated to the Alabama Hall of Fame in 1957, it was stated that Dr. Cary did more for Alabama livestock production and for the protection of the purity of food products than any other man of his time. Dedicated in 1946 to Dr. Cary, Cary Hall denotes classical revival architecture with symmetrical design indicative of academic and government buildings of that era. The recessed porch is highlighted by two round Tuscan stone columns flanked by square engaged columns and stonework that extends upward to frame the second-story window. Stone quoins define the outward edges of the building, including the gabled pavilions. And I'm reading that off of the historical marker, which was erected by the Auburn Heritage Association and Historic Chattahoochee Commission in 2019. What's cracking, my subscribers and my viewers? This your boy P9, and I am here in Auburn, Alabama, which is a city located in Lee County, Alabama, and it is the largest city in the eastern part of Alabama. This is Auburn, Alabama. And this is primarily a college town, but it also has a pretty nice size population outside of the college. As of 2020, it has a population of 76,000, just over 76,000, and it is the principal city of the Auburn Opelika metro area, which has a combined population of 193,773. And I'm over here now at the corner of Glen Avenue and College Street. And right here is the site of the Sandy Freeze Dairy Bar, which was opened in 1939 by C.R. Red and Lucky Meager. And it was built by hand and opened as the Dollhouse, which is a sit-down restaurant near this site on Glen Avenue, which sold sandwiches, sodas, and fresh apple pies. So the building was literally structured like a dollhouse, which decorated shelves and everything, but it did sell apple pies, sandwiches, and sodas. So it was a popular restaurant right here in the heart of Auburn, and it was a very popular destination for college students. Now, the original 50-plus-year-old decaying building was demolished in 1973. Sandy Freeze continued as an Auburn institution, selling ice cream cones, banana splits, and sundaes at another location until 2000. And that's War Eagle, by the way, which is the chant for the Auburn University football team, which we will get to later on in this video. Now again, Auburn is an historic college town, It is basically located in Alabama. It's one of Alabama's fastest growing metro areas. And you know, of course, Huntsville is a fast growing metro area. Auburn is growing at just as a fast pace as Huntsville. So you can attribute that to Auburn being a large college town, you know, very popular college town at that. But the land in which Auburn occupies was originally inhabited by the Creek Indians, and it wasn't until 1839 where Auburn was incorporated as a city. By that time it was in Macon County. This was before the establishment of Lee County. And Lee County was named after Robert E. Lee, who was a general in the Confederate Army. So right now, again, I'm on College Street, which is the main drag in downtown Auburn. So it does have a college town vibe to it. A lot of bars, restaurants, small shops, you name it. They even have a church right here. It's Auburn First Baptist Church. And of course, you gotta have a sports bar and grill. They have the halftime sports bar and grill, showing love to their beloved War Eagle Auburn Tigers, as you can see right there. Nice painting right there. As you can see right here in these gravel stones right here, you have multiple historic figures who played for Auburn Athletics. You have DeWanna Bonner, women's basketball, 05 to 09. D. Ed King of football, 88-1990. So this is pretty cool. They have right here in the downtown area a lot of historical athletes who played for Auburn University. They even have a Target right here downtown Auburn. Who would have ever thought? This is probably the first time I've been to a relatively small college town that has a Target smack dab in the downtown area. And look, they have a donut shop. They have a calzone shop called Eddie's. Auburn Popcorn Company. Check this out. Auburn art. So you can get all your Auburn gear right here, souvenirs, and you name it. Auburn Tigers, War Eagle. And I'm over here at the corner of College Street and Magnolia Avenue, nearing the campus of Auburn University. Now, what's so historic about this particular intersection is this building right here, this establishment called Toomer's Corner. Toomer's Corner was established in 1896. This is a staple right here in Auburn, especially for the local college students. Again, it's like it has a whole bunch of souvenirs. It's also a soda shop. You can get ice cream there and everything. Initially, this was it's called Toomer's Drugs. Initially, it was a pharmacy, but the tradition behind this is that, you know, after, let's say, Auburn, any one of their sports teams, they win a championship or they win a big game, they go to a tree over here at the corner of Magnolia and College, and they put a bunch of they hang a bunch of toilet paper off of the trees in celebration of their you know, victory or whatever, championship or whatnot. But Toomer's Corner itself was named after a businessman by the name of Sheldon Toomer, who was also a state senator here in Alabama, and he also played halfback for the first Auburn squad that was assembled in 1892. So aside from being an athlete, he was a businessman who established this drugstore right here on a $500 loan from John Reese. So he also founded a Bank of Auburn on the corner of Magnolia and College, which is over here, which is now occupied by PNC Bank. So that is the historical significance of this intersection of Magnolia and College Street at Toomer's Corner. And you can see right here, and it paved in this brick, is the paw print logo for the Auburn Tigers. Here's another Auburn themed store. It's called J&M Johnson and Malone. So here you can also get a lot of your Auburn game day gear, souvenirs, decals for your car, all type of stuff. And again, AU or Eagle right there. War Eagle. Go Tigers. You know what I never understood? As again, there's another AU team shop right here. So this whole street pretty much is, I mean, it's just a bunch of shops that sell Auburn gear. So this is the official store of Auburn Athletics right here. But you know what I never understood? I never understood why, you know, their chant is War Eagle, but yet their mascot is the tiger. I always wondered that growing up, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have their reasons behind it, but I just never understood it. But I guess it just sounds cool, maybe, you know. I never made the correlation between an eagle and a tiger, but hey, it just sounds cool. It does sound cool. War Eagle. I don't know if that was I don't know if I chanted it the right way, but there you go. Here's one of the buildings on the campus of Auburn University. It's called Ingram Hall. So Auburn University is so close, it's practically downtown. I mean, you may as well say Auburn University is downtown Auburn, because that's how quickly I was able to get to the campus from the main drag of downtown. Here's another college hall right here. It's called Smith Hall. So a lot of these buildings are very historic. Old architecture from the mid to late 19th century. Check out those columns right there in front of Smith Hall. And here's the Auburn University Chapel right here. I'm reading on one of the markers right here that the University Chapel, which you see in front of you, is the oldest public building in the city of Auburn. It was first built as a Presbyterian church, and the first service was held in the original Greek Revival style building on September 13th, 1851. Edwin Reese, spiritual leader of the tiny congregation, toward the bricks made by slaves on his plantation. The founder of the town, Judge John J. Harper, gave the land, and the first minister was the Reverend Albert Shotwell. So this small church has seen several renovations over the years and dramatically changed in appearance from Greek Revival to Gothic style. So as you can see right here,
this looks like it's this hard. Yeah.
This is the chapel. Look how old this thing is. So this is the oldest building still standing in Auburn. And here I am right in front of it. This is Auburn University, established in 1856. And I'm about to take a little walk around the campus. And right here is William J. Sanford Hall. Now this is the administration building of Auburn University. So all the school's administration is housed in this building. This was named after William J. Sanford, who was the governor of Alabama between 1900 to 1901. Now, in 1859, when Auburn University, which was then known as East Alabama Male College, it opened in 1859, and the classes were held in this building right here. And it was in a building called Old Main, which sits on the site of where Sanford Hall sits today. But the Old Main building was destroyed by fire in 1887. So this building was built not long after that fire occurred. So, and it's been standing there ever since then. Langdon Hall right here. So this is the time of the year where a lot of the college students start to move in. I don't believe that the semester officially started yet for the fall, but this is early August, so I believe a lot of students are in the process of moving in and all that stuff like that. Auburn University, I read, also has a really strong engineering program as well as technology. So right here is the Charles Davis Aerospace Engineering Hall. Oh, check this out. This looks like it might have been constructed by the engineering department, whatever it is. They're constructing a building over here as I'm back over here on Magnolia Avenue. So I would presume that would more than likely be a building associated with Auburn University, or it might just be a residential building. Not really sure. This old building right here is called Ramsey Hall. It too is an engineering hall. So I'm over here on Magnolia Avenue, and you can see a lot of buildings on the campus of Auburn University that is facing the main drag. So you have convenient access. Like if you go across the street over there, there's a Mexican bar and grill and a couple of other restaurants. They also have like a little corner store. So the college campus is conveniently located to a lot of amenities, a lot of entertainment, dining, clothing options. I mean, just all type of things over here. Of course, Auburn University is one of the largest universities in the state. It, along with its rival, the University of Alabama. They have an intense sports rivalry. In each sport, especially football. More on that later. But they have a modernized building right here. It's called the Brown Koppel Engineering Student Achievement Center. So it looks very modern in its design and its architecture. And even on the inside, they have like a couple of those LED screens and jumbotrons. They have a laboratory over here too. It's called Gavin Laboratory. This is what happens though when you have a university as huge as and as big as Auburn University. They have such a huge endowment, and they also generate a lot of money from their athletic programs as well. So this school has a lot of money to invest in laboratories and nice buildings and all those type of things. And this is also like one of the iconic structures of Auburn University. Not sure what it's called, but it's right over here at the Carroll and Gavin Garden, between the Gavin Laboratory and the Koppel Engineering Student Achievement Center. So it's essentially a garden over here. So it's really really nice, pristine area. Nice area to chill. They have some benches over here. Let me go back this way, cause oh, I can cut through here. Here goes a banner that commemorates 100 years of women in engineering. Shout out to the ladies who partake in the engineering. But you know, as I expected, Auburn University has a really nice campus. Just waiting to get to the sporting facilities on campus. But this is nice right here. You have these trees right here, and you have these rocks that sit underneath the trees that you can sit on. So it's pretty cool, pretty dope. Here you have Brown Hall. This is Jordan-Hare Stadium, home of the Auburn Tigers football program. And this stadium opened up in 1939. And it was named after historical head coach Ralph Shug Jordan, who owns the most wins in the history of the Auburn football program. And it was also named after Cliff Hare, a member of Auburn's first football team, as well as the dean of Auburn's School of Chemistry and president of the Southern Conference, which is a huge conference back in the day. But this is Jordan-Hare Stadium. And right here is a bust of John Heisman, who is the namesake of the famous Heisman Trophy. Auburn's first coach of national renown, John Heisman led Auburn from 1895 to 1899. On November 7th, 1896, Heisman's Tigers defeated Georgia Tech 45-0 in the first game played on Auburn's campus. In 1897, his team was undefeated. Always an innovator, Heisman pioneered the center snap and the forward pass. Did not know that. First known as the Heisman's forward pass. In 1971, Auburn University became the first school where Heisman coached to have a Heisman Trophy winner. Heisman was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1954. So John Heisman, again, he's the namesake of the esteemed Heisman Trophy. So that is a very prestigious award won by the most celebrated athlete in college football on an annual basis. And there's more statues. Let me start off right here with Bo Jackson. He won the Heisman Trophy back in 1985, and what a phenomenal athlete Bo Jackson was. He was a multi-sport athlete. He competed in track, football, and baseball. So he had, of course, a solid football and baseball and track career in college. And if it wasn't for that hip injury that derailed his career, who knows where Bo Jackson would have been, you know, because he played briefly in the pros. But, you know, those injuries took a toll on him, and he had to prematurely retire from football. So there goes Bo Jackson. Extremely gifted athlete, extremely fast. It's another statue coming up over here. Here goes your boy Cam Newton. Of course they had to get a statue of Cam. And he won the Heisman in 2010. So he's the most recent Heisman Trophy winner out of Auburn. And he won the Heisman in 2010, which is the same year he led the Auburn Tigers to the national championship. Now, Cam Newton, before he came to Auburn, he got off to a rocky start. You know, he went to Florida and got into an incident. And then after Florida, he transferred to a community college called Blinn College in Texas. But he came to Auburn, and that's when he thrived and became the starting quarterback in his first season and won the Heisman and took Auburn to the national title. So what a storied career, what a storied comeback, and you know, and everything like that. And definitely a really cool story for Cam Newton, who eventually went on to become the first pick in the 2011 draft by the Carolina Panthers, and he would have a great career with them. He won the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he also took the Panthers to a Super Bowl and won league MVP the same year. So there goes Cam Newton. And Cam Newton now, he hosts a football camp in Atlanta, which is his hometown. So it's good that he's giving back to the community and everything like that. He's serving the community with that football camp that he has for the youth. Stuff like that definitely helps in keeping the kids off the streets and everything like that, you know. And here's the other Heisman Trophy winner. This is actually the first Heisman Trophy winner. I didn't go in sequence, but this is the first Heisman Trophy winner in Auburn football history. His name is Pat Sullivan. He's a quarterback. 1971 is when he won the Heisman. So he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1991. He didn't have a successful professional career, unfortunately. He played a few years, but he never became like a superstar in the league. But he did, you know, he was a head coach. He had multiple stints in college. You know, he was a college coach for TCU for 5 years. And he was an offensive coordinator for UAB for 7 years. And also a head coach for Samford University for 7 years. And he passed away, unfortunately, in 2019 at the age of 69. But this is Pat Sullivan. So the year that he won the Heisman Trophy, he also won the unanimous All-American, and he was All-SEC. He was a two-time All-SEC. And he won the Walter Camp Award. So he had a multitude of awards in his career with Auburn. So shout out to Pat Sullivan. So Auburn had 2 quarterbacks and 1 running back to win the Heisman. Let me go over here. And they have a few banners up here that kind of gives you like a little timeline of the championships and the highly successful seasons that Auburn has had throughout the course of its career, or its history, excuse me. They had 12 undefeated seasons, the most recent one being in 2010, which of course, as I mentioned earlier, they won the national title with Gene Chizik as the head coach and Cam Newton under center. And there goes 2010 national champions right there. And they also won 12 conference championships for the SEC. Their most recent conference title was in 2013. And that was also the year that they beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl. I'll never forget, they beat Alabama in that missed kick that Alabama had. And I forget the dude's, I think his name was Chris Davis. He returned a missed kick for a touchdown, and Auburn ended up beating Alabama in upset fashion. That was on Thanksgiving Day in the Iron Bowl in 2013. So that was their most recent conference title that season. You know, me being an Alabama native, you know, that was definitely huge for me. And when it comes to those two teams, Alabama Crimson Tide and Auburn Tigers, I really don't pick a side. I like both of them. Like, I'm neutral. So they the best team win every time they play. But this is Jordan-Hare Stadium, right here on the campus of Auburn University. I'm over here at Neville Arena, which was formerly called Auburn Arena. This multi-purpose arena was built in 2010 to replace the Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum, which itself was built in 1969. So because that arena was aging, you know, it was time to build another arena. But here it is right here. Now this stadium holds a little over 9,000 people. As you can see right here, they have the Auburn team shop. And here's the main entrance right here, alongside the ticket booth. Now Neville Arena, it hosts the men's and women's basketball program, as well as the women's gymnastics and the women's volleyball teams.
Football game. Yeah.
It's a really nice arena, you know.
No way. The film is?
Check this out. It even has this etched into the side of it. It has the Auburn Creed. I believe that this is practical world and that I can count only on what I earn. Therefore, I believe in work, hard work. I believe in education, which gives me the knowledge to work wisely and trains my mind and my hands to work skillfully. I believe in honesty and truthfulness, without which I cannot win the respect and confidence of my fellow men. I believe in a sound mind and a sound body and a spirit that is not afraid, and in clean sports that develops these qualities. I believe in obedience to law because it protects the rights of all. I believe in the human touch, which cultivates sympathy with my fellow men and mutual helpfulness and brings happiness for all. I believe in my country because it is the land of freedom and because it is my own home, and that I can best serve that country by doing justly, loving mercy, and walking humbly with my God. And because Auburn men and women believe in these things, I believe in Auburn and love it. quoted by George Petrie in 1945. That is the Auburn Creed. And hey, that definitely applies to my life. I really believe in hard work and humility, and I believe those things will get you far in life. You know, I already feel inspired by those words. But you know, as it pertains to the sports teams who play in this arena, we're talking women's gymnastics, women's basketball, men's basketball, and women's volleyball. These programs have been highly successful throughout the course of their respective histories. Like, for instance, with the women's basketball team, they've made it to the Final Four 3 times throughout the course of their history. They made a slew of tournament appearances, and they made the Sweet 16 7 times throughout their career, as well as 6 Elite 8 appearances throughout its history, and 3 consecutive NCAA tournament runner-ups. And we're talking Auburn's women's basketball team.
I know, you literally did. And then I got caught.
And on the men's side, you know, their most recent Final Four appearance was in 2019, but they made the tournament at least 3 times within the past. So they made 3 straight consecutive appearances, including 2024, 2023, and 2022. They've also made a slew of tournament appearances. And 5 Sweet 16 appearances throughout the course of its history. And they also have this facility over there, which also looks relatively new. It's the Recreation and Wellness Center. So you have a cluster of sporting venues over here. You have the stadium over there for Jordan-Hare Stadium for Auburn Tigers. And you have the Neville Arena for the Auburn Tigers basketball team, both men's and women's. And there he is. There you go. There goes Charles Barkley of Leeds, Alabama, who's also part of this storied history of the Auburn Tigers men's basketball program. Now, Charles Barkley, in his college days, they actually made the tournament in 1984, which was Charles Barkley's last year before he declared for the NBA draft. And he won the SEC Player of the Year in 1984 as well, as a member of the Auburn basketball team. So, of course, his number 34 is retired by Auburn. And he is from Leeds, Alabama. So there goes his name right there. But yeah, this is a nice statue right here. And And you know, he became known as the round mound of rebound because of his physical stature in the NBA. Very undersized to be a power forward, but he was extremely athletic, extremely skilled for somebody of his size, you know. So that's Charles Barkley, you know, who ended up having a Hall of Fame career and also won league MVP in 1993, and he led the NBA in rebounds in 1987. So he's had a slew of accolades throughout the course of his NBA career, which lasted 16 years. There goes Chuck, Charles Barkley. Oh, by the way, hope you've been working on that golf swing, Chuck. Oh man. But there goes my boy Charles Barkley, the legendary Charles Barkley. Now I'm over here on Gay Street, another main drag in downtown Auburn. Just only a block. It's about a couple of blocks or so away from the campus. Matter of fact, probably less than that. But they have a few shops on this stretch of road as well, and they also have like a laundromat right across the street over there. The pants store. Okay, they have a store literally called the pants store, but they sell other items other than pants. That's just the name of the store.
You go through.
Oh, they have a Publix over here too. Of course, every college town, part of a college town checklist, you gotta have a Publix, you have to have a Jimmy John's, and you have to have a Starbucks. No college town is complete without those three establishments. And I'm being so serious, man. Like them college students, I feel like college students feel like they can't live without Starbucks. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure not every college student drinks coffee like that, but you know, yeah. It's a staple for college students across the world, particularly in America, especially. That building right there is called the Auburn Methodist Church. So Gay Street has a blend of old historical buildings along with modernized buildings. And now I'm getting ready to go back down Magnolia Boulevard, see what type of restaurants and establishments they have down here. And over across the street, they have Taco Mama. I love tacos, so that might be the lick today as far as where I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat. They also have a Draft House. that sells burgers, pizza, wings, and brew. And a pizzeria, Little Italy pizzeria. And there's an Episcopal church over there. But let me go ahead and cross right here. This right here, this building is called specifically the Magnolia Plaza. I'm gonna get a little bit more footage before I wrap things up. You know, right here on Magnolia. That's the Little Italy pizzeria I was just telling you about. And let me get one last marker, because this is a historical part of the city. Let me get one last marker before I wrap things up. And over here, this is the site of the Loveliest Village. And it's by the Treaty of Cusseta, 1832. The Creek tribe relinquished title to East Alabama, but some Creeks resisted until their forcible removal between 1832 and 1836. So again, as I mentioned earlier, this land was originally home to the indigenous tribe, the Creeks. And in late 1836, John Jackson Harper, who was a judge of Harris County, Georgia, along with his 11 children, relatives, and slaves, established a settlement in the area, which Lizzie Taylor, his son's future bride, named Auburn, Sweet Auburn, Loveliest Village of the Plain, from Oliver Goldsmith's poem, The Deserted Village. In 1856, Methodists established the East Alabama Male College, the forerunner of Auburn University. After 1847, the Montgomery and West Point Railroad connected the village to regional markets. And it's during that time, during the Civil War between 1861 and 1865, the railroad brought wounded Confederates to recuperate in makeshift hospitals in Auburn. It also provided a route to reinforce Atlanta. To prevent reinforcement, federal troops twice invaded the village to destroy the tracks. In April 1865, the defeat of the Confederacy left the community, college, and local economy in desolate financial condition. So yeah, so it did definitely do a number on the economy as far as the war and all of the destruction that was left in the wake of the war. So it was right over here in this area where all of that took place, the Loveliest Village, right in front of this Little Italy pizzeria. How about that? With that in mind, people, I want to go ahead and close this video out. I enjoyed my time right here in Auburn, Alabama, but all good things must come to an end. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. Also interact by dropping a comment, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. With that in mind, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in, and until next time, peace. Have a great day.